Okay, Jose. If you all are not familiar who Jose is first my friend, second team member here at TCCN Automotive and Productions, and the camera person or the editor. Or Jose does so much, I don't even know what your title is, Jose, anymore. Do so much. This is Jose's GX460 2014. I actually did the pre-purchase inspection on this car when Jose bought it. Jose is going through a little car hiatus. This is the family car, and Jose owns a, what is it, 2007 Ford Mustang, which we have tried to fix the AC 4 times. And it's almost like we plug this leak, starts leaking here, we plug this leak, starts leaking there, and yeah, he just gave up, flat out. At least it's a convertible, so you can open the top. But now this one, I see, doesn't work. So in today's video, we're going to rescue ours truly, Mr. Jose, because it is 95 degrees outside and one of the hottest weeks in the summer, and there's no AC for the past 2 days. Let's get into it as we figure out what's going on, and we'll go from there. Okay, we were just talking just before we rolled this video. Let's just say this past couple months have not been the happiest month for this car. First, the radiator just decided to retire on a sudden notice, just puked all the coolant. Good thing it didn't overheat. And then the radio's been on a hiatus, and now the AC goes out. What next, Jose? Let's start with the typical, although I saw Jose's condition when he shows up today. He's not very happy, so I know it actually doesn't work. But the first step of diagnosis, verify the concern. And we're gonna go low temperature. And is your radio gonna work today? Don't think so. Okay, here we go. Ah, it worked! Jose, it worked! The radio worked. Sometimes it just doesn't want to work. So yeah, it's blowing like 90 degree. Yeah, that's not working. Let's do a second check, because the important thing is we want to first, before we start ripping things apart, if you would, we're going to do our initial checks. 2 things I want you to know about AC systems. Understand what compressor you got, because I see this mistake all the time. Folks will see the compressor is turning. Well, does your compressor even has a clutch? Do you have a variable compressor? That's very important. In this particular case, it's going to be a little interesting to see, but I can clearly see that compressor is not turning at all. You see that the pulley is, but the clutch is not. Okay, well, now we have verified that nothing is happening. That is, by the way, the noise of secondary air injection. A lot of folks ask what that is. If you don't hear that when you shut off your car, we got a problem. At least the ones that have the system. So here's the next step in diagnosis. In most cases, we're going to hook up AC machine, look at readings, but I know my compressor is not coming on. That's the first telltale sign. Could be due to low refrigerant, could be due to something else. So this is a step that I don't see a lot of folks do with AC diagnosis. These cars gotten pretty smart. And that part of the smart you need to use to your advantage. Connect the scan tool, see what codes we got. Because you could be that could be your telltale sign right there of what's going on. Let's connect the scan tool. Well, let's see if GTS Plus cooperates today. In the meantime, I don't want the oven to be blaring at me. GTS Plus, are you going to work with us today? And for reference, while the scan tool connects, this car has 154,771. Did it have 120,000 when you bought it, Jose?
110.
110. There you go. See, I was close-ish. What have we done to this car so far, Jose? We did front struts, rear shocks, and well, you did the radiator, water pump, idler, tensioner, all this stuff. Brakes all around, I think front calipers. You did tires, finally. And I think that's it. Anything else I'm missing? Big, like real repairs, not maintenance, not really. You just changed the transmission fluid last week. So it's been pretty good, most part. Except this month it hasn't been very good. The radio and now the air conditioner. So let's take a look here. I just opened air conditioner and look what I have. It says open in pressure sensor circuit, abnormal refrigerant pressure. It is a current code. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually erase this code. This is something you want to take note of what the code is. Erase it and see what happens. I just erased the code and it came right back immediately. Something's going on. So all this code is telling you there is an open circuit in the pressure sensor circuit, and or you have an abnormal refrigerant pressure. Don't just go replace the sensor. You need to diagnose this, and it's a very simple diagnosis. Let's go to the data list. Here is actually the reading of this pressure sensor. It is currently reading negative 47 psi. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. So it could be one of two things. Is it the sensor that is a problem? Is it the wiring between the sensor and the AC amplifier, or that's the AC computer? Or is it the AC computer itself that's getting the right signal but not displaying, not reading it correctly? So here is a little, we're gonna do two things to verify. First, I wanna check my signal from the sensor all the way to the computer. Here's a quick trip that, let's remove this so we can access our sensor. And here's our pressure sensor, right here. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna unplug it. Just unplug the sensor. Let's go look at our reading. Oh, look at that. 477 psi. Do you see that reading? I'm gonna plug it back in and see what it does. What is it reading now? Negative 47 again. Do you see that? When you unplug it, it's gonna be open circuit complete. It's gonna go to the maximum reading because that's how the sensor works. It's changing a voltage. When you have it open, it's gonna be 0. It's gonna read max. If you short it, it's gonna read max on the other side, on the negative. So we have verified that our wiring from the sensor and the computer is actually all good. But now some of you will say, well, let's go replace the sensor. Before you do that, although this one is a little bit of a cut and dry case, negative 47, but yesterday when we checked the sensor, it was reading 4 psi. Well, do you have low refrigerant or do you have a bad sensor? Let's check it with the machine, or just the gauges. So do we have negative 47? I'm gonna vote no. So what does that tell you? The wiring from the sensor to the computer entrance of the wire to the logic of the computer and everything inside of it, that's all working. My system has almost 100 psi of pressure. Sensor is reading negative 47. It needs a sensor. Simple as that. These sensors, here's something interesting about these, because this is actually a common thing with these. I'm going to just recover the refrigerant while we talk about this. Here's an interesting thing about these. Well, sorry for the noise. It's just pulling down the refrigerant. This sensor, not in the GX, but in I think an LX and the Sequoia, because they're also notorious for the switch going out. If you buy the switch alone, it's like $300. If you go buy the line, which comes with the switch, it's a lot less than that. And in the GX, that's not the case, but hear this out. If you buy the sensor alone, MSRP, $306. If you buy the sensor and the line, which is a pretty big line, $311. Just leave you to the comments for that one. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna recover the refrigerant, see how much we recovered, just to know if the system was fully charged or no. In my opinion, that's the most accurate way actually to find out if this was exactly charged. You can look at the pressures, but the safest thing to do is just recover the system and you'll know exactly how much was in it. That's the sure way. So we're gonna recover the refrigerant, place the sensor, put it on a vacuum, charge it, retest, and we'll see, and hopefully we send Jose home tonight with AC. That's what we're hoping here. So the machine is ready and it has printed us the recovery report, and the recovery report says gas analysis 100% R134A, 0% air, no contaminants, no R12, no funny business, let's put it this way. This is a concern though. Gas recovered 1.32 pounds. On Toyotas that usually put yellow sticker, but lately they've been changing it to black. This says maximum 1.9, minimum 1.68. So the system was a little bit low. Not critically low, but a little bit low. The most important part though, oil recovered 0.5 ounces. This is important and I'll tell you why in a bit. But for now, we're gonna replace our switch. We can fix the problem. Here's something when you replace these switches. This one is particular one is a 27. Don't just go to it and try to open it because you're gonna twist the line and it's over. In this particular case, you have a little area where you can hold the line from twisting. Some of them won't have that. There you go. These are usually not tight at all. Don't go cranking on it. It's disconnected. It's gonna make potentially a pop when we remove it. So I'm able to get this connector out. There we go. There we go. Well, something you want to look at with these switches, do you have contamination like pieces of metal? I don't really see anything. I can look at it with my light. No. It's just, you believe that Lexus wants $300 for this little guy. And here's the best part. It doesn't even come in a box or anything. It just, you know, oh, here it is. There you go. Install our new switch. I'm gonna give it not even a tighten, just a little tug. That's it. That's all we need. Not tightening a lug nut here. That's it. Now we got this on. It's connected. Now we're gonna put the system in a vacuum, but before we do, because right now, let me open this so you can see it, because we opened the system. So the vacuum that we had, we should have lost, which we did. We're back at 0. We're no longer at -30. Let's go turn on the key. Technically, the sensor right now should read 0. It's kind of a last check, because I've been working with cars for a long time. They love to test you sometimes. So it's reading -2.32. And that is perfectly fine. This gauge is not like exactly calibrated to like down to 0.00. It's not a very accurate gauge. It's a kind of a visual a representation for pressure. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put it on a 25-minute vacuum. To basically what the vacuum is gonna do, it's gonna pull a deep vacuum throughout the system, because when we opened it right now, some moisture went in. Moisture is the worst thing for AC systems. You do not want any moisture. You leave the system on a deep vacuum like this for 25 minutes and beyond, it's gonna boil all the moisture inside the system, and now you have nothing. When you charge it to a clean system that has no moisture. The only thing we're gonna do before we charge it, we're gonna add a little bit of oil, but I'm gonna add oil that has dye in it, because I have a feeling we have a leak somewhere. Maybe not a big one, maybe we'll never find out where it is. But if I put a little bit of dye, fluorescent dye, if we ever all of a sudden lose all the refrigerant, we'll be able to find out where it is, because otherwise, tiny little leak that takes a year or two to leak, it's gonna be near impossible to find. So unless you own an 07 Mustang like Jose, and it leaks every week, and we know where it's leaking from, but it just, yeah, at least it's a convertible. One more time. So the machine is done with the 25 minutes. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna inject some dye, which is actually oil, into the system. So the way you do this, you use a little injector like this one. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna look at our meter, and we need to add half an ounce. So this is right now at 3/4. We're gonna go to 1/4. So we're gonna open this. And we're going to screw this until we're at 1/4. There we go. We've just injected half an ounce of oil, which has dye in it as well. Now we're ready to charge it. So let's open these back up. We're going to charge. Standard vehicle, not a hybrid. This machine can do hybrid as well. 1.91. Is it 1.90 or 91? 90. So we're charging high, low side. Charge. Connect. We are connected and ready to go. Let's see. It's going. That's 1 pound. Almost there. I really love this machine. So when we opened the shop, our budget was so limited with equipment. I wanted to have capability of doing R134 and 1234YF, both hybrid and non-hybrid. And at the time, the only way you could do that is either by 4 cheapo machines. 2 of them would be dedicated to hybrid, 2 of them would be 134, 1234YF, or you buy 2 machines that are capable to do hybrid, non-hybrid on both sides. But then Snap-on came out with this one. This one can do all 4 in one machine. Now, it was very expensive. And at the time, I'm like, man, this is too much. But I liked that this machine had an identifier, and it was a really high-end machine at the time. I think they still make it, and they haven't come up with something better than this. But took the plunge, and I'm not sorry I did, because this machine's been great. I really like it. I'm really happy with it. So here's what's going to happen right now. We charge the system. But when you charge the system, your hoses are still filled. The way these machines work, they have an internal tank and a weight scale, like it's the tank sitting on a scale. It's gonna watch the scale drop. When it gets to the level that we charge, it'll cut off, and there we go. But what about the refrigerant that's sitting in these lines that we accounted for because it came out of the machine, out of the tank, but it didn't go into the car? So what the machine is going to do right now is telling you disconnect the high side, which we did, keep the low side connected because that's the suction side, and you turn on the AC of the car, let the compressor pull the rest that is in the hoses into the car. So without further ado, let's see if we have AC. There we go. I heard the compressor kick on. Let's just hope I can get the radio to work, Jose. There we go. We got cold AC already. Oh, wow, the radio is working too. Maybe it was getting too hot. We got ice cold AC, Jose. Here's another way to do this, to check. Let's say, let me just do this so it's finished. Let's say your AC is blowing warm. Well, do we have an AC problem? Or do you have like a blend door problem where it's not switching or stuck on heat inside the car? When the AC is running, come to the cold side, to the low side. That line is very cold. As soon as you shut off the car, it'll start getting warmer. But that's how you know this AC is properly working. The low side will get very cold. That's how you know. This machine is ready. It's already filled, compensated for the lines or the hoses. We're gonna let it finish its operation here. But on the car, let's look at the scan tool. Let's see what that reading is now. Just for you guys to see what the normal reading should be. There we go. Look at that. 150, 160. Compressor is on. That's the high side. 170. When the compressor cycles off, it's coming down. See how it's coming down? The compressor just cycled off. And eventually when the compressor cycles on, here we go. I just heard it click. It goes up. Folks, some folks associate the compressor cycling on and off with low refrigerant. That would be the case, but it would be on, off, very rapid like that. That's when the refrigerant's too low. But the compressor normally will cycle on and off because it's going to compress that refrigerant. The temperature will drop. When it gets to a certain point, it's going to disengage the compressor so we wouldn't freeze the evaporator. That's by design. And the way it knows that, by the way, is if you look here at evaporator, fin, thermistor, and the target temperature. So if we look at these two, the computer is calculating what my temperature needs to be at the evaporator. It needs to be 40 degrees, 0.1. Every time the temperature drops below that, it's going to cut off the compressor. Every time it goes over that, it's going to turn on the compressor. Like it drops to 37, compressor goes off. It goes to over 40.1. They're going to let it, like, went to 44. Compressor is going to kick on in a little bit. There we go. Compressor just came on. It's coming back down. That's how this works. But for our purposes, and for Jose's purposes, at least one of his cars have AC. Now we're going to work on that Mustang. And I think I've been suggesting this to Jose for a long time. Beautiful Mustang, don't get me wrong, but maybe the solution to that is to just buy a Toyota or a Lexus, or at least we're familiar with it and we can figure things out, not be experimenting all the time with the Mustang. Although it's a V6 Mustang. It's a beautiful Mustang. It's very. How many miles does it have, Jose?
44.
44,000 miles. And how many suspension sets have you put on that yet? One. You know what they say when they say none, it means one. I think control arms you did, and There we go. See,
Control arms.
he just confessed. When a Mustang owner says, I only put lower control arms, he means he put them twice and uppers as well. That's what that means. Yeah, that Mustang is actually nice. I'll give you that, Jose. It's a pretty cool color. Jose is very happy because it was not a nice couple days where he had no AC while we ordered this guy and to install it and get it done. But Jose goes home with AC, which is really nice, especially in these times. Chicago, it's 95 degrees. Some of you in Arizona will start laughing, but high humidity, 80% humidity makes all the difference. It feels like Texas down up here. We're not used to that. We went from single-digit weather to this. This is a bit much, I'll be honest. But I hope Jose is happy. You got AC. Folks, thank you so much. I hope this video was helpful, informative. I hope you learned something new. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to the channel. Check out some of my other videos. Until the next video, folks, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and you have yourself a wonderful day.